60 Minutes Overtime.
The day I walked out of prison, I realized that everything had changed.
They come into this with impacted emotions.
I said that I lost part of my heart.
Bitterness, guilt, sadness. And it's hard to know whether one weekend can change you that much. The beginning of a change certainly happens.
I just love that we're here working on this so that we can expel all those thoughts.
The story's called Healing Justice. I worked with Shari Finkelstein.
My name is Shari Finkelstein, and I'm a producer on 60 Minutes. Our story is about a retreat that brings together crime victims, survivors, many sexual assault, in one case the family of a murder victim, and men who were wrongfully convicted from different cases to look at sort of the harm that is done to everyone in cases where the justice system gets it wrong.
Welcome to Circle, everybody.
Jennifer Thompson, the woman who founded Healing Justice, this organization, is herself a rape survivor, and she was involved in a wrongful conviction case. She was shown a lineup, and the actual person who did it was not in the lineup. So she did what many crime survivors do, which is picked the person who matched her memory as well as it could, but it wasn't the same guy.
She called my name, pointing a finger, and that's all it takes, it seemed like.
What did that feel like?
It felt like someone pushing a knife through me.
Ronald Cotton served 11 years in prison for this crime he didn't do and was eventually exonerated through DNA testing. She had felt responsible, so she walked around with a lot of guilt. She met Ronald Cotton, and they actually got to be friends.
The minute he forgave me, it's like my heart physically started to heal.
I stayed in touch with Jennifer Thompson. She was starting this organization, Healing Justice, and we thought it would be really an incredible thing if we could be there with cameras and see what happens. We wanted to record the entire time because we knew that moments were going to happen and we would have no idea when they would happen or who would be the person having a particularly meaningful moment. We had a fantastic team of two cameramen, Tom Fahey and Don Lee. Don had his camera on some tracks so he could quietly and unobtrusively film single shots of different people as they spoke. And Tom Fahey was positioned to shoot the other participants, and then we had an unmanned camera that was always filming Jennifer. We had a wonderful editor edit this story, Dan Glucksman, and he figured out a way to grid of all four cameras simultaneously so that we could see, okay, when Loretta is having this particularly emotional moment,
I lost being happy.
Someone else is shaking their head in sympathy. Loretta Zillinger-White was raped when she was 15 years old.
Loretta, I think among everybody there, is having the most difficult time.
I cried, but I also felt guilty.
She cried a lot.
I put him in jail.
She can't get the face of the wrongfully accused out of her mind and her eyes.
What I lost is my family. I didn't see my family for years.
Raymond Towler is an exoneree. He spent 29 years in prison before DNA evidence cleared him of a horrific crime that he didn't commit. There was one evening, it was late at night, and our cameraman, Tom Fahey, called me and he said, Shari, they're having this really intense moment. Is it okay to ask if we can film it? I was like, yes, 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 please ask them. And then he was able to capture one of the moments that was really at the heart of the experience that they had.
How can somebody look at me and think that I would do something so heinous like that? That's part of the trauma for me.
When you hear some of our stories, do you ever, blame us?
Like me being an exoneree and
Yeah. Do you ever see yourself blaming the victims?
You didn't do anything wrong. It's not your fault.
I think that if anybody had a huge emotional transition, let's say, it was Loretta. And I was able to see and feel and experience with her a person who went from misery to joy.
I still hold this guilt, and I was finally able to let it go after talking to him. Wow. I thank you.
Jennifer would say that these kinds of traumas are so deep that there's not some magic fix that could happen in a 3-day retreat. She says, I think I'll always be healing. And I think she would say that about everyone. But this gives them a lot.
I think what has helped me more than anything continue my healing is the relationships I built along the way with people that have been harmed and hurt just like me.
Because you're helping other people.
Well, I'm helping other people, but what they don't realize is they're also helping me.